Alright, so this place will be a bit unique to explore inevitably, seeing as how you probably can't easily go around the perimeter of this place. But I'm not sure quite how disjoint the areas in this game actually are. I don't know if it's actually made up of a bunch of islands that are separated by water, or if it really is just one big mainland area in reality. So where am I starting here? Okay, so I seem to be starting facing north in this freestyle area. I don't know if that's on a particular border. I don't know if there's... So here, though, you really just have to rely on the fact that... Yeah, there's just this stuff here. I guess I'm on the south side right now? That's my best guess. Just because I can't go any further south that I can see from here. I don't see anything further south from here. But that makes it a bit hard to orient yourself. I will admit, outside of the big boat, I can't really... Man, there's nothing here. I can't really name any landmarks here, which is a bit of a disappointment. I think that'll make it harder for me to orient myself by a decent margin. I think I'm going north now, I guess. I mean, based on sunlight and whatnot, yeah. But also based on having turned a little bit. It would be kind of fun just to like label the different islands or something, but the different islands aren't identifiably different in terms of terrain or anything either. So it's a little hard to imagine doing that. It feels like things are kind of round actually on the whole here. Man, this is really bumpy stuff to drive on. Yeah, I've started going east at this point. And this is kind of a nondescript plateau up here. It does have this bridge here, so this is where we did that short race. But yeah, so this place feels kind of vaguely circular to me. It's not a square like most other stages are. Or at least rectangle, I don't know if I can confirm whether it's a square, really. And there's this big stone bridge here. And this is back where we were. So this is kind of the freestyle island. Not a lot to this one, but so this one is kind of northeast-ish. It's kind of like 3 o'clock, oh, 3 o'clock, it's kind of like 1 to 2 o'clock-ish, I guess, if you think this place has a circle. Yes, this is just a whole island that is just the freestyle stuff, I think. At least with a border of sand. Interestingly, we do not pass with the boat anywhere. I guess the boat's more in the center? I guess it's not really like a ring of islands necessarily. So this is our freestyle island though. Freestyle island is one that also has, for some reason, a really big living space or whatever this is here. Why is someone's house labeled danger keep out? I figured there'd be some kind of like private property sort of thing, but it says danger instead. Well, at this point, I guess that's just kind of the northeast quadrant, basically. This island, which just kind of has little huts, and it's otherwise just brown. I can't really make out anything distinctive about this island, honestly. It would be really interesting just to see, like, from up above, how many islands there even are here. Okay. So is that a freestyle island over there? Is it? The private island, so to speak. Now the private island is this one over here, right? That's the private island. I think that's what I call it, because it has like a hazelnut on it, and it has like freestyle stuff set up on it. It's what's used for freestyle stuff, but which is the northeast kind of private island for stuff. This is the southwest, I guess. Island. It's just kind of barren. Oh, what? But I should probably stay on the inner side of this thing so I can see where it connects to whatever else. This is me pointing towards Northeast Island. Now, one thing that happens when you have a lot of really high stats in this game is you start to get carried by your momentum really helplessly. Like this. You just hit a bump and you just go flying. And this one is going totally westwards. If I remember correctly, these little boats, by the way, they have collisions. You can actually like jump onto them and so on. I did lots of dumb stuff when I was playing this game in Free Ride back in the day. This is basically the southern island. Oh well, no, this is another southwest island here. I guess that's the southeast island, basically. Kind of barren. Southwest island is feeling similar. This is all nice, as they described as barren earlier, in fact. So Southwest Island is just kind of one road to go along here. Now. Alright, now this is kind of a western island. So there's the boat. Yeah, the boat's kind of in the center. I was trying so hard to stop there. But yeah, so we have the Western Island here, which is... It is kind of a ring of islands. It really does feel like it, actually. Can they have the island more towards this? Okay, so here's an island more on the inside. You can reach from the Western Island. And that's how you reach the... it's not how you reach the boat, actually. It looks like you can jump over there. So it's kind of an inner Western Island. So this is the fun thing to do, in my mind. The fact you can actually jump between islands like that. I don't want to commit to that right now, so I'll bail. But... yeah, almost. I guess these are kind of two different islands though, aren't they? Or... Was this the Southwest Island? Or South... Jeez. Okay, lag spike. Is this like the Southeast Island over here? Keep this straight in my head right now. Is this just the Southwest Island? So, does this one curve, or is it... No, because this really is just... Jeez. Try to turn on just bounce. This really is just a Western Island. And there's kind of an inner Western Island as well. So then we have a Northwest Island, I guess, is what this one would be. And this Northwest Island feels pretty big, actually, because it has some forks on it and so on. I wonder if... I should check, actually. I wonder if the Enduro is actually something like just going around the ring or something like that. Yes, it does appear to be a ring of islands. With a little bit of stuff in the center. So I've been calling this Northwest Island so far, although at this point it feels like we're just on the north side of the map. Yes, that's really just a, well, northwestern and northern map. We're still going eastward, so yeah, sure. Northwestern island. I guess this is a northeastern island at this point. Although, it's not quite... It might just be straight northern island, actually, because there's still... If we go further west, I think we end up on the, like, private island. This is just the one with the bridge. So the northern island seems to have a lot going on. And then you just go south from here, you get into a more of a center island. I'll come back to that in a second. If I keep going eastwards, this should take me... I think? Oh no, maybe going south there just takes me to the private island. So this might be more of a northeast island. Now, I was looking further ahead than that. I just straight up did not see that tree. Okay. Go south here, and this takes us... This is the private island. Okay, so that is the northeast island. Okay, but from the private island we can also go to the center island. So kind of inner eastern island. Inner eastern island. There's also an inner western island. Remember this rock here. So you can just climb up the thing. Yeah, honestly, this place is turning out to be more navigable than I thought it would be. It is definitely disjoint islands. This is a surprisingly big island. Is this not... Is this really not like the northern island or something? Or the northwestern? What area? Cliff area. That is true, I have fallen off the cliff here. Is this not the northeastern island? No, it's not, I don't think. And now I head south and it's on the boat. This is kind of like an inner northern island, really. I guess is what this is, and it's pretty big, actually. You see, you got this big inner northern island. And... that's what connects to... So here's the inner eastern island off to our right here. Or inner western, sorry. And you got this boat, I guess just broken half is what happened here? Yeah, I guess that's really what happened. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second to do some stupid stuff, one thing that I know you can do... Not that. There's something really dumb looking you can do, I know for certain. You can close on yourself, of course, but there's a thing that I mentioned before that you can do. If you get just the right speed. There's something I always thought was kind of funny you can make happen. Yeah. Give me a couple shots at this. I need to get just the right speed. Yeah. I mean, just a little bit less than that. Almost. The point is, if you manage to hit your head just right, something kind of amusing can happen. That's not... I have to let go of my gas like right before I hit the jump, is what's happening, which is pretty tough. I was just saying in my head. I might give up on it, but the point is, if you... I know for certain, if you manage to do it Boogie Nights just right, and manage to hit your head, just your head on the thing, you actually won't wipe out sometimes. And it's just funny to me saying you get hit directly on the head. Okay, I'm not getting in a fight at all. Getting hit directly on the head and just not even flinching. It just makes a loud thud and so on. I don't know. One more try. And then I'll cut out here. That might have actually been it if I pulled off the trick. A more actual looking ice, please. No, not at all. Alright, whatever. Alright, so let's see real quick where the Enduro takes us. I'm curious if at least one of the Enduros just goes around the outer side of the map. Or maybe one of the Nationals does or something. I'm not sure. Actually, have we done Amateur and Pro National or both? Oh no, Pro National, it doesn't have a... Yes, there's only the one Amateur National, there's no Pro National here. But Enduro. So this one is starting, it looks to me, on the northeast island. Or east island? Is the private island just east or northeast? It's in that general area. So I think I enumerated most, if not all, of the islands, though, which, I don't know, gives me some weird kind of happiness. I don't know which... Okay, so that's the center island right there. Actually, I didn't really look at the island that you jump to across that boat jump. I guess it's kind of a southern inner island, though. So I think you have kind of two rings of islands here. An inner ring and an outer ring. Yeah, we're starting on the private island here. Oh, really? The game decides that... What? The game just decided that the sun is on the south side? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna ignore that, to be perfectly honest. I say we're facing north right now. The sun is just coming directly from south. Which I find... Maybe there's some geographical knowledge that I'm not possessing here that makes that possible, but I'm just going off the rule of thumb that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Anyways. Alright, so now on the northeast island. So far we're just going around the perimeter. Which I wouldn't mind. I think that's perfectly fine as an idea, making an Enduro that's just going around the perimeter. And maybe even the next gate isn't even on the map. And maybe make an Enduro that just goes around the inner perimeter as well, or something like that. You could mix the two, of course, but... Well, they don't connect to each other in too many places, the inner and the outer maps, I don't think, or inner and outer rings, I don't think. Yes, I have to ignore the compass basically and just use my own intuition of what's going where. I think we're going about south at this point, right? They really want you to go left. Jeez, so I guess they really want you to go on the inner ring at this point? This isn't even a separate island. But I guess this is, I think that's where... Is this where the jump leads you to, off of the... No, it's not. Huh. This is not where the boat jump leads you to. That's still just a bit more of an inside portion. And you actually have... Well, you don't really have to jump between those. Yeah, we're on this, another inner island here, I think. And this brings us to I think a very inner island? Is this, or is this just the North Island? Or, I think that's the inner North Island. I say north, I mean northeast or so. No, we're under the inner North Island. Guess I'm probably just, take this road here. Yeah, so this actually does have a somewhat more complicated path. It would also just be interesting to see, like, from top down where these things take you. What routes these have you follow. And is this the private island again, or is this just northeast? It is very grassy, which makes you think private island. Yeah, this is the private island. I may have mixed up at some point or another which islands are where precisely. like east versus northeast or whatever. But otherwise, I think I have a fairly decent knowledge of my way around here. So at that point, I think there's probably only one thing left to do here, if that even is a thing that you can do in this game, which I don't think I've ever thought about. I'll finish this lap real quick. Fantastic. Okay, so that is it for this game. All the things I wanted to show, I've shown all the maps and whatnot. I think I've actually done all the challenges other than just playing stuff again on X, which I don't think would be worthwhile doing. I think really the one thing we haven't seen in this entire game at this point is something that probably exists in this game. We do have credits. And I can't show you the music videos, of course. Have I ever watched this? I've never seen this. Huh. That's funny, actually. I just never... I don't think I've ever even looked at this. I have no recollection of this. Yes, this is Climax right in here. Climax Racing. I didn't know they had a little behind-the-scenes thing. Sorry, it's me increasing my volume, because I actually want to hear what these people are saying.
Since your travels across the pond, have you found a good bakery here yet? And by the way, how are the tea and crumpets over here in the States, mate? Disgusting.
Oh, interesting. I do have kind of a unique interest in this particular studio. As I mentioned before, I've just like looked a lot. I've seen a lot of their tooling and whatnot, a lot of things that they've made. Even though I don't have like an unusual appreciation for the things that they made, I just have more familiarity with it. So, interesting they show an ATV Offroad Fury 2 poster. Climax did not make Fury 2.
You know, you've been planning on a shot for over a year. Can you tell us a little bit in what's gone into your plan?
What are they doing here?
Did I mention this is supposed to be a one-shot deal?
Oh, interesting. They did some research for this, apparently. So they've done, Climax made 3 and 4. I think that was all that was left in the... I don't know if there anything came after 4 in the series or not. And that's a lot of credits for individual songs. Oh, so this was them recording the... Yeah, this was them recording the intro video. Oh, nice. That's what they were dropping the ATV for, wasn't it? That is in the opening video, I think. Yeah, it's funny to me that I never saw this after all these...
Desert. What was that? Take 2! Now, we know you're an extreme guy and you're into extreme sports, but how does that feel without the seat? Oh, not that great.
Yeah, it's so strange just not having ever... Oh, you're in Mexico now. Baja California, I think they were saying. But, yeah, it's uncanny seeing something I never noticed in this game. I was just that uninterested in credits. Which is weird, because I've looked at the credits of some other games I've played, like where you have to select from the menu, but never this one for some reason. Cool. That's a very nice finish. For me, that's a fantastic finish, seeing a new thing in this game, of all things. And just, not a lot, but a tiny bit of something from the studio that made this game that I have an odd, unusually intimate relationship with, to put it one way. Anyways, that's all for this. Phew. Okay, I'm happy to have played this. I'll play something else after this, and it'll be a totally different thing. 100% different. Not the same genre, not this... everything's different. But I think it'll be fun. At least for me. Bye, everyone.